Welcome to the program, everyone. Support comes from 120 Life. High blood pressure doesn't always feel urgent until it is. Now, I have been paying more attention now to my own numbers lately because this hits really, really close to home. Half of all adults have high blood pressure, and most people don't even feel it until it becomes a real problem. And by now, life is busy again, but your blood pressure doesn't take time off. That's why I take 120 Life. It is a once-a-day drink made with superfruit juices, and it helps support healthy blood pressure. It's not a pill. It's not chalky. It's just easy to make part of your routine. So check your numbers at home. Many people see improvement in as little as 2 weeks. So go to 120life.com. That's 120life.com and use the code DON for 20% off. Try it risk-free for 2 weeks. If your numbers don't improve, you get a full refund. And I need to tell you that these statements have not been approved by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. You should always check with your doctor. And let's get started. Let's get started, everyone. Welcome to Lemon Live at 5. How are you guys doing on this beautiful Friday? I'm not sure what the weather is where you are. Let me know, please, in the comments. I would like that. And also let me know where you're streaming from. Also, hit the like and the thumbs up. Good evening from Scotland. I love that so much. Thank you, Scotland. You guys know what I love to see. Where you're from, who's the furthest, even who's the closest. Don's still in California. You can tell, right? You can tell. Yes, I am. I am still in California, and it is beautiful here. It's a little warm. I'm surprised about how warm it is here. It's almost feeling like Florida. Almost. But Florida is hot as hell, as you guys know. Sunny Michigan. Delaware is here in the house. Virginia is in the house as well. Okay, we have lots to talk about. New York City, Washington, D.C. We have lots to discuss this evening. And several really important interviews that we're going to play that gives you an idea of where this administration head is at, if you can say that. Yeah, where their priorities are. And the chaos that's ensuing day by day by day by day. By the way, is Tulsi Gabbard still in her position? Does she still have a job? Because the reporting from Laura Loomer, at least it was a reporting, she put it on social media, was that she's moments away or not long. It won't be long before she resigns or kicked out. As a matter of fact, she urged the president this morning to fire her before she had a chance to step down, because she believes that the president, basically she's saying that Tulsi Gabbard threw Donald Trump under the bus. She did very little to support the president. She never, if you look at the first sentence, she says, this comes after 2 days of her testimony in front of Congress this week, where she never once expressed support for President Trump or his decisions. Instead, she used her time during the hearings to affirm President Trump's right to make decisions as president of the United States, making it clear she doesn't support those decisions. So we'll check on that. In the meantime, a friend of the show, one of our friends over at the MS Now, I almost said MSNBC, had a phone call with Donald Trump to talk about everything at hand. The war, the economy, and what he's going to do. You know, Stephanie is a business reporter. Stephanie worked on Wall Street, or at least worked in the financial sector. So she knows what's going on. Now, I want you to sit back and listen. It's a little bit long, but I think it's an important interview, especially from a player like Stephanie Ruhle. Here's her giving the download to her colleagues over at the MS Now about her phone call with President Trump just moments ago. Watch.
Breaking news, MS Now's Stephanie Ruhle just wrapped up a 15-minute phone call with President Trump. Stephanie joining us now by the phone. Stephanie, I know Trump already called NATO cowards this morning. What else did he tell you?
He did. You know, ironically, I wanted to get on the phone with you earlier, but I'm at the airport and it took me quite a long time to get through TSA. The president and I had about a 15-minute phone call. We started, of course, talking about Iran. He said that Iran was 2 weeks away from having a nuclear bomb and they would use it. Now, of course, most experts say it was at least a year away. He said that we could leave the war right now. We could walk away tomorrow because we have just decimated most of the country and their power. But he said the regime would rebuild. It would take him about 10 years, but that's not an acceptable situation, which is why he thinks we should stay. He said the major thing is they cannot have a nuclear weapon. We obliterated it. We totally obliterated it. So that's very good that we're there. We talked all about our European NATO allies, and he continued to crush them. He said absolutely none of our allies in NATO have helped with support as it relates to the war. He said we don't need their help, but they've proven themselves to be a paper tiger. He also posted that on Truth Social, i.e., without the United States, NATO is nothing. And he said before he came to office, the United States, and you've heard this from him before, paid 100%. Now NATO allies are paying more, but they've done nothing. I asked about Ukraine helping and Ukraine supporting, and he said they've done nothing. Anything Zelensky has said as far as what Ukraine has done to help us, he's just doing for political and PR purposes. They've done nothing. He says Zelensky is very difficult to deal with. He says Zelensky is more difficult to deal with than Putin is. And he said Putin has also shown that he's not afraid of Europe at this point or our European allies. He says I would clearly say that he expressed more trust in Putin than he does any of our European allies. We talked about the Texas primary. He said originally they wanted to run against Jasmine Crockett, but Tallarico can be easily defeated, whether it's Ken Paxton or John Cornyn. He referred to Tallarico as a whack job. I asked him about our next steps as it relates to Cuba. He was sort of vague, but he said, just you watched, and he promised sort of changes, but he did not give any details. I asked him about what the White House is spending on. I asked if the ballroom was much bigger than they planned. Did it need to be that big? And he said, of course, it's under budget and ahead of schedule. But he said they plan to have future inaugurations in that ballroom since it's going to be drone-proof and bulletproof. I asked him about those comments he made about Gavin Newsom and dyslexia. I gave him the opportunity to sort of take those comments back, saying someone with dyslexia, with those learning disabilities, shouldn't be in the White House. He didn't take the comments back. He continued to go after Gavin Newsom, and then, talk quite a bit more about how unfairly he's being treated by the media.
And I know, Steph, you've talked about how hurtful those comments have been. Did you tell him that you're stymied at the airport and ask him about the DHS shutdown?
Of course. I did. And he, blamed Democrats. He said they're the ones standing in the way of funding this. Blame that if you don't like your long line at the airport, look no further than Democrats. And that's not a surprise that he would say that.
Okay, so here's the thing. A wide-ranging interview, and it's a good get, but are you really surprised that he said any of it and that he didn't take the blame for any of it, didn't take responsibility for any of it? Donald Trump is never responsible for anything unless he thinks it's a good thing, unless he thinks that it makes him look good. But as far as the lines at the airport, not his problem. Regime change, not his problem. The war, it's the allies who are the bad guys, the cowards, so to speak, that won't help us out. Everything is someone else's problem. The man never takes any responsibility. And that is really extremely problematic because as the president of the United States, the buck is supposed to stop with him. That's what most presidents do, most normal people would do, most mature adults would do. Representative Jimmy Gomez has served California's 34th congressional district since 2017. He joins us now live. Hello to you, Representative. Thank you for joining us this evening here on Lemon Live at 5. We're going to talk about that interview, and then I want to talk about your experience this week that you had with members of the Trump administration testifying in front of you.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to listen to Stephanie Ruhl's part of Stephanie Ruhl's interview with the president?
Just partly, just what I heard right now. So not too much, but I think you described him perfectly. Where that he doesn't take responsibility for anything. Everything's great, biggest, most wonderful, and anything that goes wrong, he passes the buck. And that's one of the reasons why he's also one of the worst presidents we ever had around, and why he's actually extremely dangerous. Because when you don't take responsibility, you bury your head in the sand, shit only gets worse.
Mm-hmm. As far as he said, if they get out now, which leads me to believe that there's a long-term plan that this is not going to be over in 4 weeks. But if they get out now, again, and I'm paraphrasing, this is according to Stephanie Ruhl, that they would redo and rebuild and the same thing that they have been doing with regime change or with nuclear weapons. And the question is that I have, Representative, is that if they obliterated them back in June of 2025 and they were not rebuilding them, so then what was the imminent threat? And if they killed the Ayatollah and then put someone else in that's hard line, it seems like it's contradictory of what the mission was, and it gives no excuse for any imminent threat. But contradictory meaning you put in someone who's worse, so you're making the situation worse.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's because he really never had an idea of what he wanted to accomplish. He said it was about the ballistic missiles that can reach the homeland, but those ballistic missiles are not going to reach the homeland for at least 10 years. They don't have those capabilities. Then it was about an imminent threat, but every report, every kind of public reporting we heard, they weren't even currently building nuclear weapons. So this is one of the things that he's just making things up as he goes along. I think he just wanted all the glory, wanted to say, I'm going to transform things without a real, one, goal, two, how are you going to achieve it? And three, what's your exit strategy? So I think he's just kind of flying by the seat of his pants and hoping it goes well. But you know what's going to happen? It's going to, we're going to lose more men and women in uniform. You're going to have more people that are injured that are wearing our nation's colors. You're going to have higher gas prices. You're going to have a mess on your hands that can continuously spiral out of control, all because of his ego and having no clue what he's doing.
Yeah. This is true. Make sure you hit the like and thumbs up if you're enjoying our conversation with Representative Jimmy Gomez, who's here, is going to talk about his questioning of Tulsi Gabbard. And so, again, like and thumbs up. It affects the algorithm. More people become aware of our conversation in our channel. I want to play this. This is you asking him about Iran being weeks away from asking her, Tulsi Gabbard, about being weeks away from a nuclear weapon. Roll it.
He said that they were weeks away. I just want to kind of get a sense of, were they weeks away of achieving a nuclear weapon? Yes or no?
Congressman, this is a serious matter, and you've made some very serious mischaracterizations
yes
here.
Yes or no? Were they weeks away?
And so it would be
yes
a disservice to you and the American people to answer this question with a mere yes or no.
Reclaiming my time. Were they weeks away or not? The American people need to know if this was an imminent threat or not. If they're weeks away or not. If they're months away or not. None of this dodging. Were they an imminent threat?
Did she ever answer, Congressman?
No, she didn't, because she couldn't answer. Because if she knows it's a lie. If she, all her reporting, what she said last year to it in Congress, where she said that they were not actively pursuing or building nuclear weapons, she knew that it would be a lie, so she could never say it. She could never say it. But here's the thing. If she said the truth, she knows she would be fired. She knows she would be fired, because anybody that has spoken up against the public narrative that Donald Trump has put out, they're always fired. The analyst who said that there was no evidence that Maduro was directing or controlling Tren de Agua in the United States, fired. The analyst that basically said that when he claimed obliterated their nuclear weapons, their nuclear capabilities, they said that it only got set back by a few months. Well, that person was asked to go back and do it again. They went back and did it again. And then all of a sudden he found the same results, and then he was fired. And then even the guy, Joe Kent, who resigned, all of a sudden he's being investigated by the FBI. So anybody who speaks out of turn, that goes against the public narrative, is going to get fired. And what's the worst thing about it is that what ends up happening is when in the intelligence community is that people start saying, you know what, I'm not going to write a report on this, because I'm more likely to get fired or lose my job if I have to write something that he doesn't like or this administration doesn't like. And so what ends up happening is that they just don't present the information. They hold back. And that is dangerous, because if you don't have the complete picture, that means the American people don't have the complete picture, and that we don't know what the real consequences of any actions that he's taking, either engaging in a war in Iran, Venezuela, you name it. So I think we're in a very dangerous period of time, because this president doesn't want to believe or doesn't want to hear anything that doesn't agree with his worldview.
You said, you mentioned Tulsi Gabbard. She was under oath, right? But if she said anything besides saying, I think she was pretty smart for saying that's the president's decision. It may not be the answer that was deserved or warranted, but she's basically saying it's talk to him. I think throwing him under the bus. Laura, you know who Laura Loomer is, right? Consider the source, but she is saying that she believes that Tulsi Gabbard is out and she's going to resign. I spoke with John Bolton today, and he says he doesn't believe that she's long for this job either.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. I think she avoided it, answering the questions, pawned off the decision. You know, in the end, yes, is the president the one supposed to decide if something's an imminent threat? Yes, but that's after somebody's given him all this information. And
but that's after the people who are giving him the information, the deciders, I believe, the people who are giving them the information, the experts say, Mr. President, this is an imminent threat. And then he decides what action is going to be taken. That's what I think. What happened. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, that's absolutely correct.
Do you think that she's going to either resign or be fired soon?
I think she's on her last legs. I don't know if she's trying to stay quiet, trying to keep her head down. One of the things my staff told me is that, you know, her title is Director of National Intelligence. But the joke is that it's actually, they say that DNI stands for Do Not Inform.
Do not invite. Do not invite or do not inform. Yeah.
So I don't know.
But that is the reporting. And I've heard reporters from very big news networks say the same thing. Behind the scenes, it's that she has basically been sidelined. And the sad part of it all is that we're not paying attention, meaning the American people and the media and the Congress, on how the FBI is being decimated, how the Department of Justice is being decimated, how people are overworked and they've been being pulled off really important cases that, you know, will make a difference in this country, to go after the president's political rivals and to silence people who they don't like or don't agree with.
Yeah, no, you see that across the board. You see that people are getting fired throughout the intelligence community, the security community. They're getting fired for a variety of reasons. And they're also just retiring. They're just saying, I don't want to put up with this, because they know if they speak the truth as they see it or as the facts on the ground, that they interpreted those facts on the ground, and it goes against what the administration wants, they will be fired. And then a lot of them are getting pulled away to work on cases or do things that are not really protecting the country. They're pulling a lot of people away from doing investigation work when it comes to human trafficking, drug smuggling, border security, and putting them on going to do these raids across the country as going after people who are working at Home Depot or working at restaurants. So they're doing a lot of things that are making us less safe. And that's one of the things I hope the American people realize, that it's all bluster. It's all for show. And in the end, we're all going to be worse off because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Representative Gomez. Okay, now let me play this one. I thought was extremely important, what you did. This is what, and you made the point that I was thinking as you were saying it. I was like, oh my gosh, he's channeling me. If you are not the people as the experts and where the intelligence is coming into, if you can't make a decision on what's an imminent threat, then why are you even there? Here's Representative Gomez.
Yesterday, you said that only the president, the only person who can determine what is an imminent threat is the President of the United States. Do you stand by that statement?
Yes, I do.
Director Ratcliffe, do you agree with that assessment? That the President is the only person that can determine if something is an imminent threat or not?
The president as commander-in-chief gets to make a decision about what's an imminent threat. The intelligence community,
reclaim my time. Reclaim my time.
Intelligence community has provided a body of intelligence that supports
the reason why
the decision
is that if the president can determine and ignore what you're doing, why do you guys even have a job? Why do you even advise them? So you're saying tomorrow the president of the United States can say China is an imminent threat, and then he can take his own. No matter what the intelligence says, he can take his own action.
Representative, why do they have jobs if they can't determine, they have no authority? to determine what an imminent threat is? Well, I can't. I don't know. I was just going to give an analogy, like the bank officer saying, you're about to run out of money. You don't have enough money in your account, and if you spend any more, you're going to go into bankruptcy. But it's up to him to decide what bankruptcy is. You're like, no, that's not. We're telling you it's going to happen. So I don't know. It's bizarre. Why do they have jobs?
Well, I think it's because, they want to be around Trump's orbit, number one. And number two, I think that they're...
I mean, if they don't have the authority to even do their jobs, why are they there, is what I'm saying.
Who knows? And I think that's the problem, is that if they're not allowed to give intelligence and say, yes, this is the highest probability of this will happen, or this, and then he has to make a decision based on that information, then what's the point? Because he's just freelancing. And let's just take it also, let's just hypothetically say that they did provide all this information, and they said, no, it's not an imminent threat. And he said it was. Well, the American people should know what information you provided him so that he ended up making that decision, because the American people have to hold either the staff accountable or the president accountable for the consequences of those actions. So even in the end, say that he disagreed with them, they still need to provide us the evidence. And that's what they failed to do, because they failed to say that this was actually an imminent threat, because all the other public reporting, all the public intelligence that is out there in open source says that they were not a threat. They weren't even actively pursuing building a nuclear weapon. Yes, they had uranium that was enriched to 60%. We know that. We saw the public reporting, but in the end, that doesn't mean that they had intentions. She even said that they didn't have intentions to start up their program again. So this is where we're at. Donald Trump has said this is the truth, and everybody has to fall in line. So what's the point of having them there?
I thought that you did a great job in questioning, and I think it showed the importance of people who are supposed to report to the American people. I think the importance of them going in front of Congress or Senate and being transparent and informing the American people about what they're doing. And I think they were exposed this week. You did it, and so did Senator Ossoff. You guys did a great job. Yeah. And just so you know, the concern for people, I am in California. And I know that you're in California. By the way, one of your constituents is a lemon legend on this program, and her name is May Money. She sent in this photograph of you and her, and there it is. So say hello. I guess she saw you at an event.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
It must have been the California Democratic Convention.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I've been out speaking to people, and I want you to just listen to it, and I want you to speak to the people in California and all over the country about these high gas prices. Roll it, Andy.
We're here at a gas station in Los Angeles, $5.95, almost $6 for regular gas. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, the gas prices are crazy, but I think they're going to blame it on someone else, probably Gavin Newsom.
He has nothing to do with the gas prices.
I know he doesn't. I'm not blaming it on him.
Yeah. What do you think, though?
I think it's ridiculous. I think we need to fix the gas prices, especially like flights right now are super expensive. Yeah, something that should be at the top of the priority list.
Yeah. How do you feel about the war in Iran?
I don't think we should be at war with anybody.
Yeah. Do you believe there's a credible threat? You believe that there's a good reason to go to war with Iran?
I don't know. I don't work in intelligence, but as far as I know, they didn't attack anybody.
Yeah. So people aren't stupid. They know they didn't attack anybody. We heard what the intelligence said, but people are hurting. Gas may be at $3.95. That's the average price of regular across the United States. But in some places, it's really high. In some places, even here in California, it's like $8. It's crazy. People are suffering.
Oh, no, people are really suffering. And what's even sadder is that if this war continues, it's going to go up even higher. So Saudi Arabia, I read an article today that said that it's going to go up to $180 per barrel of oil. That means on average, that the gas in the United States will be anywhere from $5 to $6 across the country. Imagine what's going to be here in LA. So every dollar you have to pay for gas to get to work take your kid to childcare, or to school, or to baseball practice, or just to go and have a little bit of fun, is going to now break the bank. So people are going to start pulling back, and they're going to stop doing things just to make be able to fill up that gas tank. On top of that, you also going to have increased prices of anything that gets delivered by truck. So food, baby clothes. Think about everything. So the price of goods is going to increase because the cost to deliver those goods is going to increase. So right now we're in an affordability crisis, and it's only going to get worse. And the president who said that he was going to lower the price of living, or the cost of living on day one, is actually making it even more expensive for people to get by. And that's not going to hit just blue cities and blue states. It's going to hit everybody. So the MAGA Republicans that are 100% behind him, well, they're the ones that are also going to be suffering, just like the rest of the Democratic base. So everybody's going to be suffering because this guy made a bad decision.
Hey, I just have one more question for you. This is from Dave Weigel, who is a very legit reporter. Says the Dow average is down 11% since Bondi cited it during the oversight hearing. Remember the Dow, it's at 50,000. Donald Trump talked about the Dow yesterday in relation to troops being deployed. I mean, everything is the Dow was at 50. It's not at 50 anymore. What do you say to that? Because most Americans actually, quite frankly, don't have portfolios. They don't have stock market investments, and they don't really have retirement. So who is he speaking to here? What are they talking about? And why are they doing it?
I think they're grasping for anything that tells the American people that things are going well. But the stock market isn't going well. And at the same time, even if you own a 401k or some retirement, you can't eat that 401k. You can't eat that retirement. So the Dow going down is going to hurt a lot of people, but just the cost of living itself is going to go up. And that's one of the things that they want to focus on, cost of living, but also unemployment goes up. Businesses start cutting back on services. They start cutting back on hours, and they all of a sudden start laying people off. So this could be an energy crisis that makes the inflation worse. And then you're all of a sudden things are going to be even less affordable. So we're heading down a bad path if he doesn't decide to do something differently. And if this continues for weeks or months, we're going to be in a very bad position, shortly. And that's sad, because my constituents are already suffering when it comes to the cost of living, housing, childcare, food and groceries, all of it. It's unbearable, and people are just feeling really frustrated and squeezed right now, and there's no relief in sight.
Representative Jimmy Gomez of the great state of California, and great job this week for showing people what our leaders should be doing. Thank you, Representative.
Thank you. Have a good one, Don.
The Don Lemon Show is brought to you by the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Now, I talk a lot here about accountability, and that includes how power is used. Right now, there's a growing push to blur the line between religion and government in schools, in laws, even in the courts. The Freedom from Religion Foundation is pushing back on that. They're challenging unconstitutional policies and defending the separation of church and state. If you believe government should represent everyone, not just one religion, check them out. Support them. Go to ffrf.us/Don or text Don to 511-511. That's F as in freedom, F as in freedom, R as in religion, F as in freedom, .us/Don or text Don to 511-511. Text fees may apply. Support comes from Shopify. Now, when I started the Don Lemon Show, I realized very quickly that it can be overwhelming, and especially when you're trying to build something from the ground up, something of your own. It's satisfying, but it's tough. That's why Shopify is such a game changer. It powers millions of businesses, and it gives you everything in one place. We use Shopify for our merch, and it makes everything much easier. Your store, the inventory, marketing, all in one system. Now, they've even got built-in tools to help you write content and reach new customers. So if you're ready to start or grow your business, Shopify is ready for you. Here's what you do. You go to shopify.com/lemon for a $1 per month trial. That's shopify.com/lemon.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even?
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. should be talking about the Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
how is the
Dow. I just played that just to show you how ridiculous this is, because sometimes we forget. We pretend that this is normal, and this is not normal. And like my friend Tim Miller over at the Bulwark says, sometimes you just have to mock them. And some people who can certainly help to mock them are the Lemon Legends. Bring in the legends. Andy, do we have an applause? Bring in the legends. Hello, legends. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. These are the folks who are at the highest tier of our membership, and they get to be on the program to state their opinions, their voices, to tell us what's going on in the world. Now, I'm going to ask you guys some questions today, and then you can answer if you want. Who has their hands up? Let's see. Does anybody have their hand up here? I can't really see. So I will just call you out. Andrea, are you driving? Andrea Pinckney, are you driving? And what do you think of the gas prices and the Dow?
Well, the gas prices have not affected me as much as it has other people. I filled up at Sam's Club about a week ago, this past Saturday, and it was $3.15 a gallon. But since then, it's escalated 10 cents a day, 10 cents more a day. But I just leave the car parked for right now. And I wanted to know from you, if you don't mind, I had sent you a video about Senator Whitehouse, the Democrat from Rhode Island. And it was some more information about the Epstein story. And he was naming more names other than Bill Gates. And he named Chase Bank also. I think you really want to watch it. And the other thing is,
I will look for it.
In Texas, they have some impregnated girls from ICE people, and they're moving them to a secret location. That also. But thank you, Don.
Thank you. Good to talk to you. Raise your hand if you're in the Legends and you're a driver, and if you've noticed the price of gas going up. Is that Katie? Go ahead, Katie.
Yeah, the price of gas here in Pennsylvania, I was going to pick up my kiddo from preschool today, and it was $4. And like 2 days ago, it was, I think, $3.79. And now it's at $4. And it's just, and we have gas stations because I'm near a city, so we have gas stations on like every corner, but it's just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And thankfully we have a car that's good on mileage, but I'm worried about, I'm from a rural area where it's like 30 minutes to just go to the doctor or go to a grocery store for some people. And that's who this is going to affect the most, because most of those people in those areas don't have like good miles per gallon cars either.
Yeah.
So
and people
that's
do a
what I
lot
think
of,
about.
and they don't believe they have been pushed by, what do they call it? It's supposed to be the new Green Deal, and they make fun of that, right? And they've been pushed to buy combustion engine cars and use gas. If you want to do that's your business, but I think people should start thinking about electric. I'm not the first time, but I'm very happy this week. The little time that I do drive, I'm happy that I have an electric car. Because it may be, I may get range anxiety, like, oh my gosh, where's the next, charging station? Everybody who has an electric car knows what I'm talking about. But still, it is much cheaper. Kev, are you driving out there with your Wendy Williams background today? Are you driving, and are you noticing the gas prices?
Hell yeah, I'm driving. I have a Jeep, okay? I know here in Houston, the highest I've seen it is $3.79. The lowest I've seen it is $3.49. But I work in the medical center, so that's a commute. So yes, the thirst is real with the gas, man. It's weird because it jumped up overnight. Because the lowest it had been here, I think it was maybe like $2.49, and then right when this Iran stuff really started popping up, it jumped up to like $3.49 overnight. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? So yeah, it's real. It's happening.
Well, and it's happening right now.
The pockets are hurting.
Yeah, it's happening right now, Warren. And the price of a barrel of gas, a barrel of oil, is about I think it's $100 plus, just over $100. But they're saying it's going to jump up to 180 soon. So if you have, if it's the prices are this high and it's almost going to double, imagine what a gallon of gas is going to cost here, Warren.
Imagine people's travel plans.
Yeah.
Well, Don, I haven't seen you in a while. Here from DC. Yeah, I just filled up a half a tank, really. It was 384 a gallon, and that was about 15 gallons. So that was about $50-$60. And I don't drive much because I live right across the street from the subway. But in any event, it is high. But Don, not to segue on something, I just wanted to understand the issue with the intelligence person.
Mhm.
We know that North Korea has ballistic missiles. We don't know that they have a nuclear bomb or whatever, nuclear capabilities. But isn't that more of an imminent threat than what we just went through with this imminent threat, this fake imminent threat? I'm trying to understand. On Earth 1, that's how I look at it. But evidently on Earth 2, they have a different view. I'm just trying to get your understanding on what do you think North Korea versus Iran? Which one is more imminent?
Well,
Selective threat. Selective threat.
Yeah, look, I think that you answered your own question, and there's a reason that he won't mess with them because they'll mess with us. And there's a reason that he messes with Iran is because he thought it was going to be like Venezuela, that he would go in there, kick out the leader, drop some, artillery, and then it would be over. They would acquiesce. Instead, he stirred a hornet's nest. So I think you're right. I think there are places that are more of an imminent threat directly to the United States because Russia has nuclear weapons. There are other places that have ballistic missiles and that can reach the United States. So yes, Iran does not have, China, but Iran does not have weapons that can reach the United States. And by the way, again, as I pointed out with Representative Gomez, in the intelligence report that Tulsi Gabbard cited, said that there was no imminent threat, that they had gotten rid of it. That's what they said back during the 12-day war last summer. And they had not been trying to reconstitute. So I don't know what gives with these questions. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Quick, I did read something where Iran has oil, whereas North Korea doesn't. So that's
there you go.
That may be one of the issues. But
that should explain. That explains a lot to you. Thank you very much. And that was a very good question. Hi, Jennifer.
Good
How are you
today?
too,
Warren? I missed you,
Hey,
Warren. I was thinking about you.
Hi, Jennifer. How are you? I love the shirt.
I'm good. How are you, Don?
What's up? You got your hand up.
I'm lucky that I don't drive right now. I'm not driving, and that's a whole other story. But the other day when I went out with my cousin, if I remember correctly, it was like $3.50, and I live in the Hamptons, so okay, that also should tell you something. But I will tell you this: the gas, when it's like $3.50 or $4 here in the Hamptons, in Southampton, in Montauk, they gauge them out there to where it's like $7, $8, $9 a gallon.
Because they're at the end of the island. They have no choice.
Yeah, they're at the end. So, and I feel so bad for the people that live out there because they have to pay it. It's like they have to pay that. And $7, $8, $9 a gallon. That's crazy.
That is ridiculous. Thank you very much.
And you have a place in Sag Harbor, right?
Yeah.
Because in Sag Harbor, they usually run $6 or $7 a gallon there. So
I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Oh, really?
I just take
I'm
my
sorry
car.
about that.
I just take my car to the Long Wharf and plug it in and come back a few hours and get it, and I keep it kicking, right? So yeah. And it's cheaper than buying gas.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. They're cutting into our memberships money there. Hi, Barbara. How are you?
Yep.
Sorry, unmute. Hey, how's it going?
How's it going with you? That's my question.
Good, good, good. You want my gas prices or are you over it already?
I just want to know what's on your mind. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Why don't you stand by? I want to play this for you because this is Donald Trump talking about he expected far worse gas prices. Play it, and then we'll bring you in to talk about it.
We're not giving a nuclear weapon to terrorist thugs, and we're knocking the hell out of them. Their Navy's gone, their Air Force is gone, their leaders are gone, their anti-aircraft is gone, everything's gone. And no, I expected worse, actually. I really thought that oil prices would go much higher when I did this. We just set every record in the book with Dow, with the S&P. Dow had 50,000, S&P had 8,000, 7,000, and at levels, at speed like nobody's ever seen before. But I said I have to go off from that path and I have to take a little journey. We have to get these, and he would agree, but he's not going to say it. And this is not St. Patrick's Day, by the way. What are you doing with that tie? But we had to go off on a circuitous path and take care of business, and we are in the process of doing it. And I'll tell you, I think we're weeks ahead of schedule. My Secretary of State is very happy.
Also, I need a translator for whatever the fuck that was.
Okay, so go ahead. And what's your response to that? He expected it to be a lot worse. That's not true. He didn't expect it to be a lot worse. He didn't expect the Strait of Hormuz to shut down. He didn't expect them to hold this tight. It's such a bullshit artist. But what do you think?
Not at all. But if I can be
Do you
brutally
believe
honest, I don't listen to Trump if I can help it. Like the little bit I listen to him is if it's on your show, and I take no stock in anything he says, and I really don't have an opinion of it either way, except it's BS and lies. So
Thank you for
that's
that.
where I stand with what he says. But yeah, I mean, I'm paying $4.39 a gallon here, and this is South Central Minnesota, and Minnesota in the upper Midwest is cheaper. Like when I picture the upper Midwest, Illinois is the most expensive state in our region of the lower 48 for gas, and $4.39 a gallon.
Oh, wow. May money. Thank you for that. May money. Do you believe anything that he just said? And go easy now. Don't. Go ahead,
Good job.
First of all, hello. Can you hear me? I need a translator. Yes. First of all, it's hot as shit. And my attitude is on fire today because I'm sick and tired of everybody talking about, your gas prices are so high. You know what I want? I want your gas prices to go all the way up to $20 a pint, okay? $20 a shot glass for fucking gas. That's how much I want this shit to get expensive. And because maybe it'll wake you bitches up. Maybe it will change some shit. I want everybody to be suffering the way that I fucking am out here sitting in the heat, getting paid like a fucking peasant when I have plenty of skills, plenty of things to do to help you, helping out your little raggedy ass kids. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of it. Please, I want gas to be $20 a fucking pint glass.
Let us know how
maybe we can change some shit. Maybe y'all wake up. Maybe you'll be like, oh my God.
Was that Warren?
So and then also, but so I can calm myself down. Please don't interrupt me. Otherwise,
I know,
we'll have a
but
problem.
May money. We got to give other people a chance to talk. Sorry. Go ahead.
Also, but let me get my chance so that I can get out of your way. Mr. Jimmy Garcia, I was trying to say hello because I met him at the DMC. I had a picture with him and everything, and he was literally one of the only people, politicians that I met directly in person that talked to me and felt like a human being. All the other people felt like people from Get Out, like Adam Schiff, like literally talked to me. was weird. Like I felt like I was talking to a broken ATM machine, but he was the only one that really like listened and talked to me, and we spent like 10 minutes talking to each other. And so I really wanted to say thank you for not being a weirdo, because I mean,
I'm
I was
sure
the only
he's listening
person
to
in
this.
there.
We got to get other people
Jesus can
in.
help me
May.
with
We
that.
got to get other people in. I love you. We got to get other
That's all
people
I
in, though.
had to
Thank you.
say. Love y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Raise that
Thank you.
shit up to
Thank you.
1,500.
I don't know if anybody else feels like May, but we need to teach May to speak what's on her mind, because she's a little bit shy as it relates to
No, I
that.
agree with her.
Who else?
Said
Who said
what
they'll
she
agree with
said.
her?
It's got to get
Yeah,
worse
she
for people
said
to
what she
really
said.
stand up.
People gotta
Who
act.
did no?
People
Who
gotta
agrees with
act.
May? Go ahead. Who
People
said
gotta
that?
act.
She not
It's gotta
wrong.
get worse.
It's got to
Well,
get
let's
worse
get Jen.
for people to.
Let's get
Does it?
Jamie
I
in.
don't think. I don't.
Jamie is
Oh,
here.
well,
It's
Jamie had
Jamie's
to go.
birthday. Okay, so
She
I
had to
wanted to
go.
get Jamie in because it was
Or they had to go.
his birthday.
I would
Oh
say it
man,
has to
messed it
get
up.
worse before it gets better, but could it at least wait till
Definitely.
I'm back at work? I mean,
Listen,
shoot, I'm getting no money now. I've been on medical care since Don went to jail. You know?
not thug life with the jail.
Not that timeline.
He got street cred now, y'all.
I
Let's
mean,
see
I'm
Well, the
what
thing
laughing,
Jamie
but I'm
is, it
serious.
does have to
Everybody can
get
get the
worse for
business.
the.
Everybody get the business.
You know?
Rochelle
It
has
has
her
to
hand
get
And
up.
worse
I know
for the
everybody
elites
else
to
has
feel
their
it.
own lives, but that's,
Rochelle has her
you
hand
know,
up.
I
Go ahead,
agree.
Rochelle.
And that's
Is
the
Rochelle there?
problem, Barbara. That's the fucking problem. Because everybody only gives a shit about their own self. And that's why we're here.
Is Rochelle?
My
No, she's
school
not.
don't got no fucking pencils.
Rebel
I
scum,
They
is
think
closed
he
that?
our
means
budget
rebel
again. We
scum.
ain't got no fucking pencils.
Rochelle, go
Okay,
ahead.
It's
who is
Rebel
it? Is it
scum.
Rebel or Rochelle? I can't see this
Oh,
little thing.
probably rebel scum. Yeah, I don't
Like,
see
Oh,
a
who's
because I
Rochelle
can't
on
Rochelle?
see.
there.
Rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quick comment, please. What do you have to say?
So,
Do you agree with May
King
Money?
County and just outside of Seattle is $4.79 a gallon. I just got gas at Costco this morning, and I think it really needs to get bigger as far as the pricing, and it really needs to hurt people, because the people that are listening to Trump, it's like, oh, it's Biden's fault. Oh, it's Obama Hussein's fault. No, we need it to be exclusively Trump's fault, and it needs to really, really hurt before we can turn enough people around to make
Boom.
them start wanting a difference.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I want to
Agreed.
get I'm going to get other folks in. A lot of people here are agreeing with May Money. Frustrated. It looks like one of my legends is frustrated, Monique. But first, Monique, I'm going to come back to you. But let me get a word in from the sponsors, and you are next, Monique. Right after this word. This episode of the Don Lemon Show is brought to you by Graza. I like to say it that way. I love to cook and I love to host, so good olive oil matters in my kitchen. By the way, when I'm doing it, I'm like, let's put a little more Graza in there. Graza is my go-to. It's fresh, never blended, and you can taste the difference. I keep sizzle for everyday cooking, drizzle for finishing, and frizzle for high heat. It just works, and it makes everything taste better. They've even got olive oil, mayo, and aioli now, and it's really, really, really good. I have to be honest with you. The bottles look really good sitting on the counter, too. So I was cooking on one of the shows. You saw that live if you're a Twitch follower. And where I was at a friend's house and they didn't have Graza. I was looking everywhere. So I'm going to have to gift them some Graza. You can gift it too. So go to graza.co and use the code LEMON for 20% off of your first order. That's graza.co, and the code is LEMON. This episode of the Don Lemon Show is sponsored by BetterHelp. So March is a time to celebrate women, but also to recognize how much women carry every single day. And, you know, I think about my mom. I think about my sisters. I think about all the women in my life. My mom has been the steady center of our family. Women are always the steady centers of most families, always showing up for everyone else. And a lot of people are doing that at work, at home, in relationships, trying to just be everything to everyone. That pressure is real. Therapy can be a space that's just for you, a place to process, set boundaries, and feel supported. BetterHelp makes it really simple to fill out a questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and if it's not the right fit, you can switch at any time. Visit betterhelp.com/donlemon for 10% off of your first month. That's betterhelp.com/donlemon. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. Thanks for powering the Don Lemon Show.
Senator, gas prices in your home state are up to $3.51, but across the country,
$3.91. The International Energy Agency is now encouraging people not to drive. Don't go to work. Work from home. Save gas. And here's what Minnesota Republican Senate candidate Michelle Tafoya said about the burden that taxpayers are feeling right now.
I think right now, at least just kind of keeping a stiff upper lip. Maybe you take one less trip to Starbucks, and so that gas goes a little further.
Wow.
Until this thing is over and these gas prices come back down again. Let's just try to be patriots about this.
I don't know how many not taking trips
gosh.
to Starbucks it would take to come to $200 billion, but there's a Reuters Ipsos poll that shows 59% of Americans disagree with the war flat out. 65%, though, believe there will be ground troops. Is what we just heard the kind of messaging that's going to get the American people behind this war?
Okay, thank you for that. We don't need to hear from them because I want to hear from the legends. And go ahead, Mo. Monique, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
You look frustrated. I can hear you.
Yeah, I got all kinds of different feelings that run deep. But I'm here to say I have a son with special needs, so I understand everybody's frustration, but I'm not wishing worse on people that can't handle worse. I'm out here using my voice. I'm out at protests. I am volunteering, and I am seeing the effects that a lot of this stuff is having on people who maybe cannot survive things getting worse. So I just, I have to say that I understand that frustration. Gas out here right now in California.
But they're not going to survive.
Please
that.
don't interrupt.
Let her, Mo, let her,
me.
Mo, it's her, Mo
Don't
money. It's
interrupt
her
me.
time. Let her speak. Let her have her chance. Go ahead, Mo, Monique.
Gas out here is, almost $6 for regular. My husband commutes to work, but thankfully we have a car that gets about 600 gallons or 600 miles, to a tank. So we're okay there. And we're
Can I ask you something? I don't mean to interrupt you.
No problem.
I know you guys for what have we known each other for almost 2 years now, or a year and change. And I hear something in your voice that I don't normally hear. And I don't normally hear this sort of anxiety and this frustration. It's in your voice, it's in your face. Why is that? What's up?
There's just a lot of calling for things to be different, and I get that. I understand that. I don't care for a lot of griping unless you're going to come with a solution in your pocket. And that kind of stuff, it takes the air out of a room for me. I want to try to be as positive in these dark times as I possibly can be. I have a son who is nonverbal, so I am his voice. I am his shield. I am his power. And so I spend so much of my time trying to figure out solutions. I'm just as angry as everybody else, but I don't see the point of continuously griping. We need to try to figure out what we're going to do about this situation. And that's what you're hearing and seeing in my face. I'm over it. I'm over it. I need solutions. I don't need to hear what I already know. I need to hear solutions.
Do you think, Mo, do you think, I know the answer to this, but I'm just asking because I want to get an answer from you, that there are a lot of people who feel the way that you do. And I know because when I get out there and talk to people, sometimes they're on the verge of tears. And I feel like you're on the verge of tears, but not tears because you're weak, but tears because you're overwhelmed and frustrated.
Yes. And I'm angry. I'm an angry crier. And I've always hated that about myself because I don't want people to think I'm weak.
On the verge of tears
I am your worst case scenario when you have my rage up. But there is a frustration here, Don, because I'm only, I feel like I'm only one person and I'm doing everything that I can, but it's just so frustrating not seeing the needle move in a positive direction.
Mhm.
We just keep, it seems like we're just sinking deeper and deeper into this hole.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. And
Thank
we
you,
got you.
Don.
If you need anything, if you need help, if whatever, all you have to do is ask. This is a community, as you know,
You
that
know,
will
Don, you
help.
got the better help, but I need the excellent help. Do they have an upgrade on that? Like,
Go ahead, Keisha. Keisha, what's up?
So, hi Don, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you.
Great. So I don't have a car. I live in New York City. I get around subway and walking. So I'm not directly impacted by the gas prices right now, but I'm concerned about the war and what we're spending on it. We are spending so much money on this war. It is an ungodly amount of money that we can't even conceive of. And I'm worried that we are going to get to the point where it's not just a recession we're in, but a depression. Because if you look at what the steps were, where people were leading up to the depression, we're getting to that point. So for people who want things to get worse, we might be getting there. Unfortunately, we might be getting to the point where people need to start rationing food and taking, well, I'm not going to get into the cash business, but I'm concerned, and it's bigger than the gas prices. This country is throwing money away on this war that Trump started because he wants to pretend like that he's not a pedophile. He wants to help Israel meet their dreams of destroying Iran and taking over the world. And he wants money, more money for himself. Screw the rest of us, screw the rest of the country. That's what I'm concerned about. So if people want it to get worse, we're probably already on our way.
Keisha, can I please piggyback real quick on you? Like, literally today, they froze our budget again, like I did when I was asking for paper. Now we don't got pencils, and they froze our budget, and now we can't even fucking buy pencils for the damn elementary school kids. So now, I'm just so sick of this shit. But it's getting really bad, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Well, that brings
I
up.
think that's. I
Can
think
we put this up? Let's put this up, and then because I want you guys to have a discussion about it. You have it, Andy, the thing that I sent, and this is what we should be spending, or we could be spending money on. And it says, and this goes to May Money's point. It goes to Keisha's point, and I think probably what Kev was going to talk about if that's Kev who's jumping in. Instead of spending $200 billion on his war in Iran, Trump could fund a year of health care for 22 million Americans, 3 years of food assistance for 30 million Americans, housing assistance for 17 million Americans, child care or universal pre-K for 15 million children, Pell Grants for 27 million Americans, salaries for 1.7 million teachers and nurses. I think that makes the point. Kev?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of clarify on the whole aspect of things getting worse. I don't think it's so much about people suffering. I think it's more about people actually waking up because people are just still going along like this shit is normal. It's being normalized. So when some people feel like, yes, it should get worse, it's more so for people to wake up, get activated because the politicians aren't going to get us out of it, aren't going to get us out of this. They don't have a plan. The Dems don't have a plan. Not heard
Well, the
of a
thing
plan
is, too,
or a
I
solution.
think a better analogy is when someone has an addiction and they have to reach rock bottom in order to make it. You
Thank
can't
you.
tell them what their rock bottom is. So I understand that. So no one is wishing suffering on anyone, but I think that
Please,
America
can we
may have
find the
to
bottom? Please,
reach rock bottom before.
please find the bottom. Oh Lord.
Jen,
Well, I hope
how are
rock
you in
bottom.
Illinois?
Me, Don, everything is culminating together. I don't drive, but gas is $4.49 at a major intersection by me. And the thing that people need to understand, I'm anti-capitalist, proudly. Like, people have to drive to go to work. When is it going to become more expensive to go to work than what you're making? And how is that then going to impact the economy? People are not going to be able to do the jobs to provide you with the things that you need. This is all a domino effect, and we're interdependent. We need to understand that. And I just want to say, we are having protests at Broadview every Saturday at noon. Just fucking show up. You will talk to people and you will figure out things to do, because I've been saying this for months. We have to get on our mutual aid tip. We need to be taking care of each other because no one's coming.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank
Don,
you for
Don,
that.
can I
Go
say
ahead.
that I'm concerned in Texas, like I said, where girls are still being SA'd and they're being impregnated and they're being hidden. They're being hidden. Again, they're being SA'd still. They're still getting pregnant. And the war is a distraction. The war is hurting everybody, but it's still a distraction from what's really going on in Texas.
Yes. So guys, listen, it's been I have to be honest with you, it's been a really tough day. And so I'm gonna end it a little early, and I hope that you guys aren't upset by it. But the reason I'm gonna end it early is because I want to show you something. And I'm gonna send this to Andy. I'll send it to you, and you can get it up. Let me see. I wasn't gonna do it, but I asked my friend if I could do it, and let me know when you get this picture, Andy. Sorry. I wasn't going to go because it's just too much for me, and I'll tell you why. You guys know that I've dealt with a lot of grief lately. You know that, right? And Andy, just let me know when you have it. I've dealt with a lot of grief lately. Okay. And this is my friend's dog, and this was her going away ceremony today, or his going away ceremony, Murphy. And it's my friend Tracy, who I'm here at her house, and she had to put her dog down. You had Murphy for what, 13 years?
13 years. He was 16.
He was 16 years old, and 13 years, but he couldn't, just in the last couple of days, he couldn't walk, and he was just suffering. And so love not just your furry loved ones, but love, everybody, because you never know when the time is coming. And it's really emotional to me because I have a senior dog, and I'm going to have to do this soon because I don't want my dog to suffer. And, it's tough when you lose a family member like that. So Tracy, I'm sorry about Murphy.
Thank you. I'm so glad, to the audience. I'm so glad Don was here. You guys have seen me on the show before. I've been on 4 or 5 times, but having Don here while I was going through this very confusing, painful time was wonderful, and having all the love around just made it better. And we all go through grief, and having the dog 13 years, he was 16, could not walk at all, could not pee, could not live a life that he deserved.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me, but it was the right thing for him. And that's part of being a good parent, is understanding that. And I feel like shit today, to be honest. But I'm so happy that Don is here. I love you, Lemonheads. Take care of yourselves. Take care of my Don for me. And it's hi, Lemonheads.
Legends.
Hi,
Those are the legends.
Legends.
Those
I
are legends.
apologize. Hi, Legends. How are you?
So look,
Be
Love
good to
your home,
yourselves. Be
Tracy.
good to Don. Be good to your families. Just try and be good.
she can't hear you. They're saying hi, Tracy, love your home. I'm wearing an earpiece.
You can totally
She can't.
come
She
hang out
can't hear.
with us on our show.
Okay,
anytime,
thank you. I love you.
Tracy. We love you.
I've got her. And so anyway, that's my message. And so I'm dedicating this broadcast, this stream to Murphy. Okay. So guys, thank you, legends. We'll get more time in next week. We got to go and finish taking care of what we just discussed. It happened not long before we started streaming today. And so my little Gus is, he's 17. He's going to be 18 in April. But he's in diapers now. Can't really use his back legs that much. You guys know the story. If you have a furry friend, when you know. So anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much. So I'll see you next time, legends. Thank you. And thank you very much, Monique, for sharing today. Okay. I appreciate it. Okay. So be informed without being, and oh, by the way, I just want to tell you guys, come see us, DL Hughley and I, where you can see us is at the top of the donlemon.com. And it's going to be a great show. And before I go, let me just play a little bit of it. I'll play a little bit of, Andy, do you have the preview available? If you don't, just tell me and then we'll move on. The one that we showed earlier today. You don't have it? Okay, that's okay. So you can check us out at donlemon.com and check any of those dates. That's where we're going. Scan that QR code if you want to come see us. It's a really, really great time. And everything else you want to know about the show is right there as well on donlemon.com, including how to become a member, how to subscribe, and the different platforms that we're on. Okay, all you got to do, everything is right there for you, donlemon.com. Be informed without being inundated until I see you back here Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. But just remember what I just discussed. The DL plus DL show is it's gonna air or drop at 2:00 on Saturday, part 1, and 2:00 on Sunday, part 2. And the show is phenomenal. And so I want you guys to click on it, click the link and watch it. 2:00 on Saturday and then 2:00 on Sunday. So until I see you then, turn the TV off. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a show. We're live every weekday at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time with new clips dropping at 2 p. and 8 p. And if you want even more Don Lemon Show content, join the Lemon community. Members get exclusive posts, behind-the-scenes videos, and live chats just for you. So hit the join button or visit our channel page to sign up. Thanks again for all your love and your support, and I'll see you next time.